Basic rigging. Objectives: provide an introduction to basic rigging and provide questions to ask when selecting rigging. Introduction. In many cases, a professionally trained and certified crane operator uses data such as rated capacity and the load chart to decide if a lift can be made safely. However, riggers often need to check additional data involving rigging hardware. For instance, rigging hardware such as slings or shackles also have rated capacities or load limits that cannot be exceeded. Always check these carefully. They are just as important as the rated capacity of the crane. The sling angle will affect the capacity, with capacity lowered as the angle is reduced. A sling at a 30-degree angle may have only half the lifting capacity of a sling that is at a 90-degree angle, vertical to the lift line. Either the crane operator or the rigger should check and double check the load limit or rated capacity of the crane hook. Check, too, to be sure that the positive latching mechanism on the hook is in good working order. Ratings of crane rigging hardware usually are not hard to find. Most often they are stamped into the hardware or attached on a label. Never use a piece of hardware if you cannot verify its rated capacity or load limit. As you can see, it is essential that the crane, load line, hook, and all components of the rigging be designed for the load you plan to lift. Here are some questions you should ask when you're selecting your rigging hardware. Even when you know that your equipment is suitable for the weight of the load, there are still some serious questions you need to consider. Will the angle of the sling take away any of its capacity? Have you rigged the load to the center of gravity of the crane and lift line? Are there any sharp surfaces or corners in the rigging that could cause a sling to tear? Should padding or softeners be used to protect the sling? Will the load be under control along the entire path of the lift? Should a tagline be used to guide the load? Are there any obstructions along the lift path that must be cleared? Can they be moved out of the way? Will the suspended load be clear of all personnel? And do unusual environmental conditions such as high winds, rain, or heat need to be considered? Quiz 1. Rigging hardware such as slings or shackles also have rated capacities or load limits that cannot be exceeded. A. True. B. False. 2. Sling angles will affect the capacity of the sling. A. True. B. False. 3. Either the crane operator or the rigger should check and double check the load limit or rated capacity of the crane hook. A. True. B. False. 4. Ratings of rigging hardware are always difficult to determine. A. True. B. False. 5. When rigging a load, it is important to determine the center of gravity. A. True. B. False.